you did not have gold. And so Richard Nixon went to Camp David and then on Sunday announced to the world, we gave our word, but we don't have to keep it. And he tore up Bretton Woods. That's what he repudiated. A treaty obligation, just repudiated it. And the very foundation of international law, on the basis of which we can have an ordered world, is pacta sunt servanda. Pacta sunt servanda. The treaty obligations must be honored. Pacta sunt servanda. Treaty obligations must be honored. Surah Al-Ma'idah begins with that same statement. At the very beginning of Surah Al-Ma'idah, when you give your word, you must keep your word. And if you cannot, then seek forgiveness from Allah, give charity, free a slave, fast, and make tawbah, repent for it. But no, he said, we gave our word, we don't have to keep it. And he tore it up. So since September 1971, no paper money in the world, none, is redeemable in gold on the basis of law. It's just paper. By 1973, when the war took place between Israel and the Arabs, the US dollar had collapsed to 160 from 35, 160. By January 1980, when the Soviet Union invaded Afghanistan, the US dollar collapsed to 850 to 1 ounce of gold. And as we speak now, you can go on the internet and check. I'm sure it's somewhere around 1,000 now as I speak. Above 1,000. Above, just cross 1,000. What happens when the value of money falls? The answer was provided in 1931 with that test shot. If you did not understand it, what happened in 1931 should make it clear that when the value of this money falls, people are ripped off. There's a massive transfer of wealth from the unsuspecting masses to that predatory elite. This is the biggest rip-off that mankind has ever had the misfortune to experience from the time that Adam alayhi salam set foot on earth to this day. And you don't need a degree in economics to understand it. I have just explained it to you so simply. It is so easy to understand. I didn't even have to use any sophisticated, complicated language. Even a farmer could understand what I have just explained. This is riba. And they have used this bogus and fraudulent and utterly haram monetary system as a vehicle for riba. And they have ripped off mankind, and the rip-off is complete. It's finished. They have already impoverished the masses around the world. And they have already transferred that wealth to the elite around the world, who now live in unprecedented wealth and luxury. In Egypt, in Indonesia, you should see them in their 5-star restaurants having dinner, with, of course, so many security guards outside, because they're scared of the poor. The rip-off is complete through riba. And they are now set to rule the world. But this is not the end of the story. Tomorrow they would not need the paper money anymore. When Israel takes over from the United States as a new ruling state in the world, the US dollar will have to give way as the international currency. So I ask myself, which currency is going to take over? Is it the Israeli shekel? And while all the money in the world is going down in value, Israel's money is not. And then I realized, no. They're not going to remain with this bogus and fraudulent monetary system of paper currencies, because they have something better than that in store for you. At least with the paper currency, you could take it home and give it to your wife and tell her, put it away. At least with the paper currency, you could keep it at home. Nobody knows how much money you have. At least with the paper currency, you could give it in charity and nobody would know how much you gave and who you gave it to. They don't want you to do that. They don't want you to be able to conceal from them how much you have. They don't want you to be able to give even 1 cent to anybody. And they don't know about it. Well, how are they going to do that? Are they going to appoint police in every home? They don't need to do that. All that they have to do is to trigger a 2012, I believe it's called, to trigger a monstrous, a massive catastrophe in the world which will bring down the whole thing. The US dollar crashes, and it'll bring down with it all the paper money in the world. And if you're caught with the paper, you can use it as wallpaper. And they have something to replace it. It's money you can't feel, you can't touch. It's money you can't see. Who is going to accept money I can't see and money I can't touch? No. They're going to say, well, we're bringing to the world progress. It's called a cashless economy. And that's supposed to be progress. A cashless economy. You can't pay with paper anymore. That's old-fashioned. No. Now it's electronic money. Are they going to get away with it? Electric impulses? That is now money? Yesterday you took a piece of paper, you printed a picture on it, you put a number on it, and you assigned an entirely fictitious value to it. And you made wealth out of nothing. That's shirk. But all the cattle in the world accepted it and were using it. And in the process of accepting your paper and using your paper, they were themselves transferring their wealth to you. You have to hand it to Dajjal, he's real smart. But now they don't need that anymore. Electronic impulses will now become money. Governments will no longer be able to issue money. No. Banking system around the world and a computer keyboard, and they will control the banking system. And so all the money in the money system of the world will be in the banking system. And so they will know how much money you have. You can't hide it. And they will know how you're using your money. They will know when you bought and how much you bought and how much you paid. Every single thing is recorded.